Dear Body20 Network, we all know the importance of offering a great customer experience. And a great customer experience starts with setting the right expectations. Therefore, we've created the member orientation. You'll find that the member orientation sets the tone for your customer experience. It tells the client what to expect. Much like when you go to a hotel, once you've purchased your room, people walk you around and show you where's the spa, where can you swim, what time does those places close. It's very, very important for us to prepare our customers and our members for what is to come. Now, the demo experience, typically, a lot of people feel that that's where we should be communicating all the terms and conditions of our offering. It is not the right place. As you guys know, during the first demo experience, clients are incredibly overwhelmed by this training experience that really blows their mind. But importantly, there's a lot of facts that they forget. So today I want to run you guys through the importance of the member orientation. Now, first of all, the member orientation has to be executed during the first session. Now, the first session meaning not the trial session. Once they've signed up, they schedule the session. Ensure that your member arrives 15 minutes before their very first session, because that gives you adequate time to sit down with them and work through the member orientation. It is also possible for you to do it after the first session. Now, I'm going to go through every single step and milestone of the member orientation to ensure that we adequately capture all the important information that we should be sharing with our members to welcome them to your Body20 studio. First of all, when you start your member orientation, it's important to read the first note, which is that the member orientation is to welcome and orientate the member to the studio facility, covering general rules and to optimize your customer experience. The reason we say this, the client needs to know why are we doing the member orientation, and it's really to welcome you, to introduce you. We don't want to create rules to restrict you, but we want to, these things are there to optimize your experience so that, you know, what counts for one counts for all. And it's great for the member to know from the beginning. Now, first of all, we got to ensure that they've got BoxJam downloaded. That's why BoxJam is the very first milestone. We got to express that, you know, we don't allow clients to schedule by calling, by WhatsApp, or by email, because we are scared that you're going to leave a message with the trainer and they're going to forget to schedule you. And then you're going to be disappointed when you arrive and they did not schedule your session. To avoid that disappointment, we want to empower you with an application where you can book yourself. So you need to sit in front of the member and let them download the app right in front of you. You know, a lot of people just don't know even where the app store is. I mean, most of our clients are incredibly mature and not in the millennial age where they're downloading apps every day. So take their phone, go, you know, here's BoxJam HQ, download. Oh, do you have your login details if you've not downloaded it? Oh, they don't, please don't send them to the email to look for their password. Guys, the username will be the email, so it's very easy to remember the username. But rather go to your system and change password under the member card, okay? And then you can access the BoxJam license for that client immediately, because once they've logged in once, they're logged in forever. Make sure during the orientation you do it right in front of them. Secondly, you want to tell them about how to book their sessions. You need to make sure that they understand the booking thresholds, guys. Now, we currently have set a 6-hour booking threshold, which means that they cannot book themselves within a 6-hour period. Now, on another note, a 3-hour booking threshold for the off-peak time slots works beautifully to increase your activity during the off-peak time between 10 and 3. So I would suggest to go edit recurring classes for those off-peak time slots and changing them to a 3-hour booking threshold. Secondly, your 24-hour cancellation threshold, you've got to explain to the client, listen, there's a potential for you to lose your session unless you cancel it within 24 hours or outside of 24 hours rather. Now, secondly, logging your injuries or likes or dislikes. Mr. Member, did you know you can tell us about the things you like and dislike? And if you put it on your app, it's going to pop up on your member card and we'll know about it, okay? In the same way, you as a trainer, if you pick up positive information from them, go into the BoxJam and leave it under the injury, guys, because, you know, it's not just injuries, but because we train healthy and, you know, capable people, but it's about, you know, maybe they don't like, they get a bit of an ache or pain when they're lying on the back or when they're doing a lunge, their knee hurts. Things like that is valuable information and it's great. Just remember that logging an injury, the member can read it as well. Very importantly, their app will show them the injuries that you've also logged on your side. So if you want to leave a more personal note, which is just internal for the team, leave it under notes and don't log it as an injury. Next, how to message. The client needs to know, hey, did you know on the booking that you're making, there's a little eye, you can press on it, and that allows you to send us a message. That message will come to the studio as an email, guys. The message that they send you does not come as a push notification. We can push a notification to the client. They can't push a notification to us. But Mr. Client, you don't always need to email us or search for an email or WhatsApp us or call us. You can also send us a message using the application. Now, very importantly, guys, how to check in. The client doesn't know they can scan the QR code. Show them, hey, here on the home screen of your app, there's a little icon down the top right where you can check in. Click it, show them how to check in. And then obviously how to schedule the sessions. Guys, I find a lot of the champs, you guys have not used the app. So it's impossible for you to help the client when they're struggling. So please create an account for you, okay? You should be training once a week as well. So use the opportunity to book your own session as a trainer, okay? So that you can help them. Hey, this is how you do it. You swipe right. Okay. Oh, how do you cancel? You just unswipe it and go swipe again, as long as it's outside of the booking threshold, Mr. Client. Oh, there are reasons why possibly you can't book that you know. For example, the booking threshold has expired, or your credits have expired, and it's easy to see. You can go to My Sessions on the application and see how many sessions you have left. Now, obviously, if a voucher, you've got a limited package, so we'll show you your total sessions left. Where if you've got a membership, then we'll show you a weekly limit left, 0, 1, or 2 sessions a week. Now, to move on, it's also very important during the member orientation to discuss the members' goals. Why? Because we want to set the right expectations. If they came and signed up because they believe they're going to lose 10 kilograms in the first month, that might be the wrong expectation. Because as you guys know, we create a different type of body, you know, a more toned, potentially their weight might even increase, and they don't know about it because you didn't tell them that they will tone more, perhaps create more muscle, and therefore they might even go up in weight. But your body fat will go down. But Mr. Member, did you know you got to also eat better? It's important to keep them accountable to their eating habits while setting the short and their long-term goals. Now, you should be setting short-term goals for them about telling them, hey, did you know it's going to tone up? You can immediately flex your arm after 2 or 3 sessions, your legs, your bum, and you'll feel it's more toned. The reason for that is because we recruit muscle, we help you condition, and we burn intramuscular body fat. That's why your muscle becomes denser, it becomes harder. But Mr. Member, the subcutaneous body fat, the part that people see visually, that will take time. It will depend on your habits. So please stay committed, stay consistent to achieve the results. So, you know, discussing the goals is about setting the right expectation from the start so they aren't disappointed. We don't want to promise the world and under-deliver, guys. So it's also important to tell them, you know, if you've got any backaches during the goal discussion, or did you know how much strength you can increase, you know, because they don't know that. And perhaps they want to measure that, and it's important for you to say to them up front. Then, very importantly, guys, the progression chart. A lot of people, when they sign up in the demo, they don't even know we offer cardio or enduro programs until the 2nd or the 3rd session. This is unacceptable. We have to, during the member orientation, tell them about our 5 different strength programs, about our 4 different cardio and enduro programs, guys, so that the client knows, oh, wow, I didn't know that strength training program was so insane. I thought I'm going to train on it all the time. No, Mr. Client, this is the basic strength program. We also have an intermediate, an advanced, you know, a pre-champ, champ mode, and the same goes for the enduro and for the cardio. Yes, if you do more than 1 session a week, we're going to do the cardio. And very importantly, not only to tell them about the different programs, but what is the differences between those programs? Because a lot of people assume it's just the type of exercises you do. That's the difference. It is not. It is the actual settings on the device, guys. It is, and you'll see under the notes, in particular, it says there, you know, the harder the program gets, it increases the hertz. Instead of 85 contractions per second, on the basic and intermediate program, you're going to 90 contractions per second on the pre-champ and the champ mode. In the same way, we're also increasing the width of the frequency. So we're recruiting more muscle, Mr. Member. Did you know that with each program that you upgrade? And then finally, the impulse rise also decreases, which means it becomes a more explosive contraction. So not only are you getting more contractions per second, you're doing more work, we're recruiting more muscle by increasing the width of the frequency. And then finally, we're increasing the explosiveness of the contraction as you progress during the programs. Now, how do you progress, Mr. Member? You progress through a progression chart. It means you've got to be consistent. You know, initially, you got to train consecutively for 6 weeks, and then 8 weeks, 10 and 12 weeks. People that get to our champ mode, they're the ultimate client. They're the client that's been consistent for the last 6 to 8 months before they can reach that goal. Now, it's very important that you know every 6 weeks, we want to, you know, review your results. Every week, you can't look at your body every week and expect crazy results. Your body changes, particularly initially, quite drastically, okay? The way that your body retains fluid, intracellular and extracellular, that's different, okay? So it's very important that you don't try and measure results by looking at your in-body every week. We need to accumulate the data. Like any data, you can't take one point and say, oh, I've gained fat or lost muscle. No, you got to look over time and see what's the mean change in your data. And that's why we use this every 6 weeks as a foundation for assessing your results. And then finally, we got to chat about the differences between strength and cardio programs, guys. Strength programs being isometric, meaning constant tension on the muscle, but no shortening or lengthening on the muscle. That is why we do very stable, controlled exercises, squeeze and hold, low lunges, hold it down. Instead of like cardio, it's about dynamic exercises. We want to get your heart rate up. We want to keep it high, 7 or 8 out of 10. And then that is all about intensity. It's important for your client to know from the beginning the difference between isometric strength training and our isotonic, which is shortening and lengthening of the muscle, cardio and enduro programs. And also, that's a great opportunity to mention them. The benefits of cardio and enduro by us is increasing the VO2 max, increasing circulation to all the areas in the body to help them decrease body fats, holistically throughout their body. And then also, obviously, is that we decrease cellulite because we break down the collagen, we, metabolize the body fat, And did you know during the cardio and strength programs, guys, we liquefy the fat underneath the skin. Why? Because fat is also temperature sensitive. Go take a butter, put it in on a pan or in a microwave, and you'll see it melts. It doesn't mean it disappears, no, unless you metabolize it and you have a calorie deficit in your diet, but it will help you metabolize that body fat more aggressively and easier, and at the same time it gives you an immediate appearance directly after. I mean, if you guys have trained Body20 MS, which I hope you have, as all our trainers should, then you'll see that your abs look even leaner right after the session. It's because the fat between the skin and the muscle, which is called subcutaneous body fat, is the temperature sensitive. So your temperature rises, it will liquefy, it will look leaner. So for those guys that's in aesthetics and fitness and physique training, it's a great way of looking great right after your session. And then it's very important, guys. I know when the client has signed up, they've signed the membership agreement already, but a lot of times it's overwhelming, guys. We expect clients to remember the terms and conditions of their membership agreement during the trial session. They will not remember it, guys, and then they're going to set the wrong expectation. They might be disappointed at the end of the day. So it's important to discuss those basic terms and conditions, not the entire agreement again, guys. It's bullet pointed here on your member orientation. There's bullet points there of what to cover. For example, contract cancellation policy. Did you know, Mr. Klum, we need a 30-day notice and there is a cancellation fee. Now the question is, why is there cancellation fee? Not to hurt you, Mr. Member, but keep in mind that if you're not meeting the minimal period of the contract, then that means you got a reduced fee, and it's unfair to other people that's paying a higher fee because they've not committed to a minimum period membership. Now, keep in mind, there's also a lot of confusion between a 6-month member, 12-month membership that goes month to month. The reason it goes month to month is because it's a minimal period contract of 6 months and 12 months. It doesn't mean it is only a 6-month membership or only a 12-month membership. Obviously, guys, I can cancel with 30 days notice without any penalties outside of those 6 months or 12 months. But the reason you got to do a minimum of 6 months and 12 months is because you get the benefit of a premium rate. Compared to other clients that's buying a session at a time or a voucher, they're paying a premium because they did not make the commitment that you have made. So if you break that commitment, we need to protect the other members that do keep the commitment, guys. So important to discuss the cancellation policy and why it is in place to protect them at the end of the day. Now, the late policy, guys, you will miss your session if you come 5 or 10 minutes late. The reason why, we're trying to protect you so that you don't need to wait. At the end of the day, you're buying time from us. So when a session is running late or a client comes late, then that actually affects your time, and we're trying to protect you. So therefore, please try and be on time. Actually, come a little bit earlier so you can relax, do your in-body before the session. We don't want to do the in-body afterwards, okay? And at the same time, we're building a community. You're welcome to come sit here, have if you guys have coffee in your studio, which I highly recommend, they can have a coffee or drink some water, make sure they can hydrate prior to the session. So the late policy is important to communicate and make sure they know it's to protect them at the end of the day. Now, finally, the session cancellation policy, guys, you need to cancel within 24 hours. Explain to the client why. A lot of times it's just because people don't know why that they might give you pushback on a policy. Now, the reason why is because, we're trying to make sure that the times are available. And think about it, Mr. Member, is that if you book a session and, you don't arrive, someone else could have used it. Okay. And at the same time, we want to make sure that those sessions are available for you when you want to schedule, and particularly the peak time slots. They are limited availability. And if people don't arrive, someone else could have trained there. We're not trying to penalize you if it's an emergency, like your wheel broke down, or, in case of sickness or illness in family. We understand. We'll give you that one chance, or that two chances if it does happen. But if it's reoccurring and it's obvious that you're making excuses, then we'll need to credit that or take that session away. At least give us notice, guys. Now, finally, contraindications, touch on those things again, guys. You need to reiterate, guys. Remember, before you did your trial, we touched on it. You don't have any a pacemaker on the heart, a neuro disease like epilepsy, any acute injury or disease, and you're not pregnant. And then remember all the other things. If there's any questions, please ask us, Mr. Member. And it's important because, once again, they might have been overwhelmed or incredibly excited during the trial session, and they will see how much you care when you discuss it again with them during the member orientation. And then also the contract pause. Guys, we don't pause contracts, okay? The contract can run and you can redeem your sessions. You have 13 months to do your 12-month sessions. You've got 7 months to do your 6-month sessions. So you can go on holiday, Mr. Member. We understand. Just keep in mind, remember to let us know when you're going on holiday, or just unswipe your app. If you're using an application, you don't even need to let us know. As long as you don't have a scheduled session, like a recurring session, that you don't notify us, because otherwise you will lose your sessions. Now, then finally, what is the course? Trainers that will vary. Apologies. Very important, okay? A lot of times, and I had this just the other day, a member, I walked into a studio and one of the new trainers were quite upset because a client was sitting there and they only wanted to train with a trainer that was not on shift. And they came to me and said, Bert, this client just signed up and they really don't want to train with anyone else. And I was like, oh, another unreasonable member, and we have that preconceived idea of people being unreasonable, where once I start speaking to the member and said, hi, Mr. Member, are you ready for your session? I hear you're waiting for someone. And they explained to me, you know what, it's not that I only want to train with that trainer, it's just that when I signed up last week, the trainer booked me. So I just assumed that's how it works, is that when the trainer who I do my trial with, the trainer who scheduled me is the trainer I'm going to train with. And they just deduced that because we did not inform them otherwise. That's why during the orientation it's incredibly important for us to discuss that your trainers will vary. And guess what? If you know your trainer's schedule, and as you guys know, you can add the coach to the class if you want to. That is in the discretion of the owner of the studio, but I'd highly recommend it. Then the client can choose, or the member can choose who they want to train with, because they will see who's on shift. Okay, and then finally, core services. A lot of people don't understand. We do assessments. Sure, they did an assessment, an InBody in their first trial session, but once again, it was overwhelming and they did not necessarily know the details of what is an InBody, or they can't remember it. So it's important to say, hey, guys, we use EMS technology. It's called electromuscle stimulation. You'll see under the notes, electromuscle stimulation, what we do is you generate action potentials on the actual muscles. The same signals that your brain will send, we generate those on the actual sarcolemma, on the muscle membrane. We generate those action potentials on all major muscle groups, all at the same time. That's why we get such a lot of work done in a short period of time. Now that's very informative. Perhaps the client didn't capture that information. And remember, guys, trust is built through value. And value in our business is about education. So it's a great opportunity to educate them on EMS. And that's why we've left the note there. Action potentials generated on the muscle. That's how EMS works. Then secondly, InBody. What is InBody? It's a gold standard composition analyzer. What's a gold standard composition analyzer? It is compared to DEXA, which is a 3D X-ray scan in the hospital. Incredibly expensive. It will take you 15 minutes. And if you weigh over 200 pounds, you're going to be measured twice. So very important to understand that it's also called BIA, bioelectrical impedance analysis. You don't need to remember that because it's under the notes. But tell the client that, once again, guys, I know to you think, oh, it's jargon, they're not going to remember it, but information is key, okay, to building trust. Then, the fresh meals. Yes, only in Gauteng at the moment, and hopefully it goes so well, we can expand it nationwide, but you can order meals online. And then finally, nutrition doctor. Yes, nutrition is important. We offer this service to you if your studio is signed up. If you're not signed up, I highly recommend it, guys. Nutrition is the third and most important thing in terms of getting results and having a true body transformation. And Tell them how to go about it, guys. Do it online. Tell the client you can go to body20.co.za/nutrition. You can answer the questionnaire. The nutrition doctors will be in touch with you there. Even if you're not signed up as a studio, the nutrition doctors can charge them separately if necessary. Then finally, there are campaigns every single month that Body20 head office runs, and maybe your studio even runs locally. Obviously, it needs to be approved, but that is a great opportunity for you to communicate about the campaigns, like the Buddy campaign. Hey, Mr. Member, did you know if you refer clients, you can get something in return? And then finally, the Member of the Year. You know, those are the people that we want to nominate and we want to showcase in terms of their results. So, you know, let's recommend that they take the pledge from the start, and they can win major money, guys. We gave away 20,000 Rand this year. In 2019, we're looking to give away 30,000 Rand. We just need those applications, and the more people sign up, the more accountable we'll keep them to their journey. I hope all of you will remember the importance of